It's Osmond with House Einstein, and I am here checking out 1123 Baseline Road for clients who couldn't make it. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, priced just under $3 in the Chautauqua neighborhood. And we're going to cover it inside and out. Hopefully this video is useful to them. And if not, we might make it available at a later date for others to view. All right, you ready? Let's go and check out this house. So this is one of the reasons why I don't recommend Baseline Road to my clients. It is loud and traffic is continually moving on the street, both for Chautauqua, Flagstaff. This weekend was a CU game, so it's maybe a little busier than normal, and often parking can be a challenge. Although they've mostly solved that with permitted parking on the street. House has got a nice solid brick wall in front of it, which is designed to block a lot of that sound and passerbys that happen to go past the property. Here's the heavy entrance gate that probably isn't used very often. Brick wall looks like it's in very good shape. And there is the alley. And alleys in Boulder are frequently how the bears get around. Get a sense of the back of the property. And overall, the stonework looks very good. And the grading looks like it's proper too. As we look at the camera checking us out, hello. It looks like they're a little tight on storage with bicycles and motorcycles packed in here. This is also one of the reasons when we list property, we strongly recommend emptying as much as possible so that people don't immediately jump to conclusions when they see a bunch of bicycles that, hey, you're out of storage. But when we're on the buy side, it's something we definitely want to talk about. And we look for little hints like that. And so with only a 1-car garage and security cameras in lots of places, it makes you wonder. 1-car garage for limited storage, security cameras for potentially other factors involved with this property. But here's what the neighbor's wall looks like. And so since the neighbor directly abuts, or appears to, in the title work, you're going to want to look for a recorded agreement for maintenance. All right, let's head back up on the baseline and walk in the door. Definitely no alley parking, but there is a 1-car garage access. Alright, so here we are walking down into property. Get a sense of the yard and also the traffic noise, which you can hear from the recording. I mean, beautiful stonework here. Whoever did this entryway did a beautiful job. It feels very secret garden-like entrance into the property. Sense of the I need to pan from a slightly different angle so you can get a better sense when we're not facing the sunlight, but it is beautifully landscaped in here, almost like a professional botanical garden. This will give you a better sense of the house. And because there's no backyard, this is the yard where you'll hang out and play, and the kids might play if you have kids, or you might entertain. It's pretty sizable, a little bit sloped on one side, but has plenty of flat spot too. Smells like fresh mulch. So we might as well just continue with the outside, and then we'll do the inside. Looks like the side entrance. Names on the mailboxes and steps up. We'll just head on up and take a look. Okay, so that really isn't part of the neighbor's property. No, maybe it is. Gotta take a closer look at the map. The plat map and the property details on this house. Again, don't ignore the traffic noise. You'll hear it throughout this video. This is why we usually don't even recommend seeing homes in busy locations, because you can be very easily tempted. Beautiful art. Oh, a little snarky doormat, but I don't think that's their normal primary entrance. Let's walk around the other side. Nice water feature. And what appears to be a large accordion patio door. Sometimes these are branded as nano walls. Sometimes they're just accordion doors, but ultimately they serve the same purpose, which is a much larger portal into the house with usually some expense of energy efficiency. Okay, I think we're finally at the main door of the house. We'll walk in there in just a second. And there's another seating area. You know, the way these two homes are positioned with each other, I strongly suspect that at one point in time they were actually adjoining as an estate and have been separated. So they certainly seem to be built with kind of a key fit with each other. Okay, and there's another little pocket area. Oh no, that's the actual steps out, not a pocket area. Okay, that's the grounds. So let's take a look inside. You may want to note that it's got the terracotta roof, which is an unusual style. A lot of CU is terracotta, but not a lot of the private residences. All right, time to go in. All right, door is open, and we are going inside. I will note I have not actually been inside, so we're gonna look at this in real time, as you would if you had walked into the house for the very first time. The front door opens into a large living room. It's very spacious with concrete flooring. And a nice brick entryway, exposed beams. And there's that accordion door to the patio that we covered on the walk around the property. First door to the left is a coat closet, which is quite full. Again, leading to the first question, is there enough storage? We're going to not focus on the seller's photographs and personal things. Okay, take a left and you are into a music room / living room with a baby grand, and fireplace, real fireplace, dining room, and kitchen. And the kitchen cabinets are an absolutely gorgeous wood custom cabinet job with even custom door pulls. It is, I'm not sure what type of wood it is, we'll look that up, but it's a very pretty and very nicely done. Countertops are stainless with a Viking range and Viking hood. Feels like a professional gourmet kitchen. Stainless is actually a very attractive surface, although it's not often used. It's attractive from a prep and cleanup and bacteria perspective than stone and other types of potentially porous surfaces. Cheaper too, but it's still not commonly used. Okay. Windows look out over the neighbor's yard. And it's a relatively tidy space. It doesn't feel alienating and overly open. In other words, it doesn't feel so spacious that you're alienated from the rest of the house if you're entertaining in this kitchen and prepping food for a dinner party. This feels like a fantastic place to host guests. I would say it's cozy. And this door leads out to the outside. Looks like it might be a pantry, but it's just to the outside. And we'll lock that. These steps lead down. We'll cover that in just a moment. I like to do these videos by levels, not skip around. So bathroom. Looks like a nice 3/4 bath. I think the tile work is actually quite, it looks a little on the industrial side, but it's quite clean and tidy. I would say this is reasonably updated. Typically people want to do a little bit more color these days than total whiteout, but it's tasteful. And looks like a baby changing table, which might be a hint to why they're selling when you add up the space and baby changing table. Okay, off to the right here we have what's currently being used as an office, and it does not have a closet, so I would say it is an office. It technically does not qualify as a bedroom. This is the trapdoor snark exit from the outside. Pretty spacious private office. And over here we have bedroom number 1. And this bedroom, this looks like probably a full-size bed for frame of reference. There I am in the mirror and the furniture. Everything is traditionally finished and in good shape. The floors are in good shape, especially for a historic home. And as is typical with a historic home, very little closet space, or undersized closets. Back when these homes were designed and built, people did not have the wardrobes they have today. So it's one of the biggest challenges with historic homes. Okay, I think that covers the entire main level. Let's head on upstairs. Okay, heading upstairs. On the upper level, looks like there's a second half level. We'll get to that in a second. Turn to the right, and we are likely in the primary bedroom with an interesting air duct. We'll have to think about the cooling systems and heating systems of this house in a minute, but I see radiant heat and maybe a swamp cooler. Now there is a little doorway to the outside from this master or primary bedroom, which leads to a patio. I get to find out about my wasp fears. And this patio is Actually quite lovely. And there's that swamp cooler on the roof. Other than the aforementioned traffic noise, which is definitely one of the challenges. Have I mentioned the traffic noise? Okay, good. But I want to make sure I covered it 3 or 4 times. But in this limited inventory market, you have to see. Whoa, okay. This thing is tipping open and locking. How do we lock it? There we go. Now it's locked. Very nice door, by the way. It tips and it opens. Okay. Oh, I should mention there's a little TV stand kind of thing here in the corner. A couple of hall closets. Don't know why that one doesn't open. I'm not going to force it. I think it just needs a harder pull. This one opens. It's just a linen closet with labels that kind of suggest this house is sometimes used as an Airbnb. Little seating area. Windows are newer, which is always a plus in a historic house. More interesting closets that are linen closets that are quite packed and neatly labeled. I think that's, again, because the home has been rented out occasionally. And here is the hallway bath. Again, same finishes. It's, the whiteout approach. It's very clean, very tasteful. Maybe not the most current color pattern, with geometric tiles and so forth, but tolerable. And this is a secondary bedroom with what appears to be another full-size bed and a desk, kind of lavender walls and built-ins. Sparkly clean windows, thank you, seller, and view over the neighbor's property. So immediately the first deficit that occurs up here is that these 2 bedrooms share a bath. What is the master bedroom, which that is almost certainly a king-size bed, has kind of a little bit of a tight space on either side, which is also one of the reasons we recommend you remove furniture, a lot of furniture, because there's some random things tucked on the side of the bed that shouldn't be there. It would help the seller if they weren't anyway. So the deficit here is that the 2 bedrooms on the upper level are sharing a bath. And you go up another half level. The first thing you see here is a sitting area. There's also some personal art on the walls. I'm going to try to not scan because they are photographs. And then, okay, so this is really the master. And it's a much more spacious room, again with a king-size bed. Its own patio that overlooks the front yard, or I guess it's technically the side yard since the address is Baseline, but this is a much more peaceful side of the house, and it's definitely more spacious with 3-seat couch and the master bath that we were just commenting as a deficit. It's not a deficit. It does have a master bath, and it looks pretty spacious and tidy. Nice shower enclosure, tub, more stainless. I would say these finishes are pretty nice. They're not, brand new. They're all custom for sure. There's the toilet. This vanity is not something you would find at Home Depot. So somebody custom built this bath at some point. But if I had to guess, I would guess at least 10 years ago, if not older. But it's held up well. And this room is the master closet where the lights are off. Figure out how to turn them on. There we go. That's much better. Very spacious master closet. Plenty of room. And very nicely tidied up for showings. built-ins, and a reasonable amount of space. And that is the upper level. So on the upper level, you have the master bedroom suite with its own little meditation space and couch and seating areas. Master closet's adequate, porch overlooking the yard, and a fairly decent sized master bath. And then half step down to the secondary bedrooms, including the one we confused as the master bedroom based on the bed size, and the other secondary bedroom, which has a full size bed and the built-ins, linen closets, and then back down the steps. Now we'll hit the basement. You might be wondering, well, how could you not tell that that wasn't a primary bedroom? You know, I look at a lot of houses and we don't memorize the floor plan or the photos before we come see them. So it's always a bit of a discovery when we go look at houses. Plus, some people take some creative license with what they describe as bedrooms and bathrooms, and whether they're full or three-quarter. All right, we're in the basement. And first thing to note is that it appears to not be a full basement. It's a partial basement with a crawl space. And they're using the crawl space for storage, and the storage is pretty darn packed, but they've got their moving boxes because they're done and ready to get out. Sometimes that can be a sign of a motivated seller in a negotiation. So we always pay attention to stuff like that. And here is the utility room. It's kind of hard to get in here, but you can see there's a radiant heating system, large battery, water battery, and on-demand hot water heater. And count them, we have at least six zones based on the controllers. I'm a huge fan of hydronic heating systems, but it also creates challenges in cooling. Laundry is down here in the basement. It is tight. You know, kind of a challenge to walk down 2 flights of stairs to do laundry, and there isn't really much space to fold and arrange laundry in this space. It's mostly wash them and bring them upstairs to fold and put away. Everyone's familiar with that drill. And then there is a storage room here. This is the kind of room I often call the Costco room. Lots of gear or kitchen appliances that aren't used every day. That's the kind of stuff that gets stored here. And another storage room. You know, they have a lot of stuff. I hate to say it. Sorry, sellers. The house actually has plenty of storage. It's just there's a lot of things in the house to fit in here. And then we're to the one-car garage, which is tight to the bumper. You can get the dimensions of a Honda Element, and you'll know exactly the dimensions of this garage because there's very little room between it and the garage door, so you basically have to fill it all the way up. But hey, there's more storage in the front nose of the garage, which could be a workshop space or something along those lines. Okay, I think that is the basement. I would say there's an adequate amount of gear storage in this house, but it does feel tight with the seller's belongings in here, and that just might be these sellers have quite a few things. And that wraps up the tour of this house. We'll give you some summary thoughts from the car. Oh, hold on, one closet we did not open, and it's some additional storage that they've hidden away under the stairs. Okay, we'll give you the conclusions in the car. All right, heading out the door. I think we've seen everything in the house except for, oh wait, hold on. Did we go and look at this door? I don't think we did. And this is the door that was labeled with the owner's names. And leads out the front. And it is a heavy, heavy custom wooden door with very functional peephole. That's it. That's how the cookie crumbled. All right, that wraps up our tour. And my conclusions are that it's actually a very interesting and lovely home. and it has a layout that is what most buyers would prefer, with the primary and secondary bedrooms on the upper levels and the living and entertaining spaces on the lower levels or main levels. It has lots of nooks and crannies to store things, only a one-car garage, and it has a absolutely beautifully landscaped yard. But it's also at the corner of Baseline and 11th Street in a very, very busy location. So the question for buyers should be, well, are the attractive aspects of this home, the location close to Chautauqua, more toward the south side of town, which gives you easy commuting, the historic nature of this home, the landscaping, the design, it's not overstated, it's not grandiose. Does that equal 2.85, just under 3? My sense is that it's priced appropriate for a home that is not in a busy location, and this price point is wishful thinking, that the buyer will fall in love and disregard the busyness of Baseline. When you're up against a very busy road, we usually advise our buyers to price aggressively, not seeking a premium based on all the news you've read about bidding wars and how frothy the market is. It's far more intelligent to price it aggressively, even intentionally low, if you really want to get this house sold in a reasonable amount of time. That way you incentivize buyers to look past the busyness of the road. But that's a tough pill to swallow, especially if the busyness of the road didn't initially bother these owners when they bought the house. And this is one of the reasons I've recently reached the conclusion that we need to be even more vocal than we've been in the past about advising our clients away from buying things in compromised locations, because at the end of the day, you can fix everything about the house but the location. And at some point in the future, we would love to represent these clients again in the sale of the home. Most people keep their homes 5 or 7 years. I can't remember what the average is off the top of my head, but we hope that we've had such a trusted relationship that you call on our services again to sell it. And honestly, I would probably decline listing this home, because it will probably be on the market a long time, especially if you choose a pricing strategy that is seeking a premium and prices according to homes that are not in such busy locations. And especially if the home is not vacant and professionally staged, which would dramatically help overcome objections around the traffic noise. Instead, when you walk through the home, you quickly reach the conclusion that it doesn't really have much storage, and boy, this house is tight. And a large part of that is due to the seller's possessions, not the aspect of the home, not the actual design of the home itself. But ultimately, there's no getting around that busy location. And if our clients insisted on buying this house, we would of course represent them and do our usual due diligence and negotiation and try to get them the best deal. But when it came time to sell it, however many years down the road, we would almost certainly insist on a multi-year listing agreement, because selling a home in a compromised location is usually an exercise of patience. Sellers aren't enthusiastic about emptying the home, having it be vacant, and then professionally staging it, carrying the staging cost, and doing other updates like paint, kitchen updates, things that make the home really pop in order to overcome that objection about location. They certainly don't want to price it lower than what they feel their neighbors have been paying or getting for their homes. And then when it comes to a year on market, they get frustrated that it still hasn't sold, and they usually take it out on the listing agent. So the first way to prevent that is to keep our clients from buying a home that's in a compromised location. But should they wish to buy it, we'll do our best. And should they wish to sell it down the road, it would be part of a long listing agreement, because the odds are you may be waiting a long time for a buyer that isn't bothered by Baseline and recognizes recognizes that the location benefits outweigh the traffic noise. Now, it's possible traffic will get less noisy in the future with more and more electric cars. I mean, that's certainly one bet. But Baseline feeds into Flagstaff. It's very popular. It's a very, very popular road for visitors to drive when they're here in Boulder, or ride their bikes. You can see them in the background. People love to ride Flagstaff, drive Flagstaff, ride their motorcycles on Flagstaff, visit Chautauqua. It's super popular. So I doubt the traffic is going to get less in the future. It's probably going to get more, but maybe there'll be some reduction in noise from electric vehicles in the future. And that's my takeaway. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and it's made specifically for a family who couldn't be here due to illness this beautiful fall day. But in the future, well, I doubt they'll be buying it, but in the future, if this home is sold, we may make this video available for others to enjoy, and mostly for an educational perspective, not to advise or disparage or anything along those lines. We really want to help our clients make smart decisions, buying and selling. That's our goal at House Einstein. I'm Osman. You know where to reach me. Thanks for joining me. All right, bye.